I know renting can sometimes feel like a step backwards, especially for a generation that tied their whole financial identity to home ownership. But I want to have an honest conversation with you today because for some families and some situations, renting is actually the smartest move on the board. And I'll say this as a realtor who makes my living helping people buy and sell homes. So hear me out. If you're new here, my name is Meredith Davis with the Wildflower Properties Group, brokered by KSP. My job as a realtor isn't just to sell your parents a house. My job is to help your family make the right decision, an informed decision. And sometimes the right decision is to sell the big house, put the equity somewhere smart, and rent a home, at least for a period of time. I've seen families do this really well, and I've seen others rule it out too fast and regret it. So, when does renting make sense? First, when your parents' health situation is uncertain. If you don't know whether they'll be able to live independently for the next 5 to 10 years, buying another home might not be the right move. Renting gives you flexibility if their situation changes, and then you're not stuck trying to sell another house that nobody can live in. The second scenario is when the math works in their favor. If your parent sells a $500,000 home, takes the $400,000 in net equity and invests it conservatively or puts it in a high yield savings and then rents a nice place for $2,500 a month, they might actually be living a better lifestyle than they were before with more money in the bank and no maintenance headaches. The third scenario where it would make sense is when they're not really sure where they want to land. Some people know they want to sell the big house, but they're not quite ready to commit to a new neighborhood or a new community. So, renting for a year sometimes gives them the time to explore their options without all that pressure. So, with every upside comes a downside. So, what are the downsides of renting? Rents can go up, and that affects their bottom line. Also, they're not building equity in a new home. And for some people, renting a home just doesn't quite feel like home in the same way to them. And those are real considerations. There are some really lovely rental options here in Houston, Texas. There are luxury apartments inside the Loop. There are senior focused communities that offer a lot of amenities and single family homes in quiet neighborhoods. So renting does not have to be the dingy apartment complex that you might remember from your early 20s. Here's a framework that I like to use. I ask families to think about a 3 year window. Where does your parent need to be in 3 years? If the answer is clear, then let's find them the right place to buy. If the answer is genuinely unclear because of health concerns, location decisions, or life circumstances, renting buys you a little time to figure those things out. Renting isn't settling for the right place at the right time. It's freedom. Don't take it off the table just because you're predisposed thoughts on how it sounds. In the next video, I want to talk about something that's on a lot of families' minds, but nobody really wants to say out loud. What if your parent needs more support than any of these options we've talked about so far can provide? What does the assisted or independent living conversation look like? And how does real estate factor in? That one's coming up in the next video, so stay tuned and I hope to see you there.